The following podcast is being brought to you by the Defy Life Podcast Network.
And I was like, yes, hi. I was so excited.
Oh, we get high. We get high again.
Okay, hi.
A guy get to a point and he asks you to marry him, he really wants to marry you.
Mm-hmm. He ready.
Like he really feels like, you know what, she's the one. She's the one.
You already getting the goods. You got to pay for it. Bring me the ring and get on one knee.
Okay.
Or two.
You need time to observe someone and really get a sense of how well do they treat you, how well do they handle adversity.
You're not the one because you don't have grit, the perseverance. You ain't really want me because you ready to give up. Because I said no. Nah, you shouldn't have asked. But since I said no, now it's your job to stay in the game and try to fight for it.
Boy on 5 Heartbeats, when you make the announcement you're going solo at the awards ceremony.
What up? And happy One Eye Shut Day. Welcome to the podcast of many topics from the perspective of 3 married couples. I have a few shout outs tonight that I want to start out with. First, we want to give a special shout out to Keisha Glimpf. She is the patron of the week. And if you didn't hear me, her last name is Glimpf. So, it's extra special because that means we've got family out there supporting us. So thank you very much, Keisha, for having our back. We love you. We got another shout out for JR. Congrats, JR, on your new job. He told us about it on our pre-session. So giving you a shout out. And then we have a shout out for baby girl, Skylar Ray. It was her birthday this weekend, so we want to say happy 5th birthday to Skylar Ray. She is Al and I's goddaughter, and she's also the niece of JR and Ladine. So happy birthday, Sky.
Happy birthday, Ladybug. Love you.
Happy birthday, Sky. Forgive you.
Love that little girl.
Yes.
So we're back here at another One-Eyed Shut Day. Happy to be in the presence of my podcast family. Also grateful that we made it back to this place, right? Everyone wasn't as blessed as we are to see another Wednesday night. So grateful for that. So I'm going to go ahead and get it started, right, with my word of the day and how I'm feeling. My name is Gina. We're here again, and I am just energized. Right, all day I've just kind of had this stirring in my belly. I woke up with it, and the word that came up for me earlier was just energy. Like it's just an energy that's just kind of stirring in my belly, and I've had it all day, and it's just felt great. I've had a great day. I had a couple of good meetings. I got word for another project I'm getting ready to jump on. Got to see one of my girls. I bought a mattress today, although I'm sure Al is not very happy about that purchase. But it was just, it was a good day, and I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, sometimes you got to make it do what it do, especially with that kind of purchase. You got to have it.
Move some bones.
Yes.
It actually, I guess, and it was for a secondary bedroom, so that's really more of why he's not extremely pleased, but it's okay. One thing that I have learned about my husband over the years, sometimes it's just not appreciated initially, but at some point he will see the value. And I feel like this is one of those things. So we all good. It was a great day. Great day. All right. Thomas, let's start with you today. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How you guys doing?
Good.
Am I? Oh, man. I thought I was Alan for a moment.
Nah, you good.
Nah, I'm saying, right? They were slow to respond.
Right.
Where's the love, y'all? What's up?
Right.
Damn, we just went through this last night, man. Tell us what your word is. No, I'm just kidding.
Right.
What's up, man?
I'm totally blank too on my word. man.
Mm.
Oh man, this might be. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with youthful. I feel youthful.
Mm.
Yeah, we've been doing a little working out and running and eating things that they say we're supposed to be eating. So we've been doing a little. They say right, right. So we've been doing a little bit of that. So I feel youthful. I'm gonna go with that.
Okay. It's always good to feel youthful.
Right.
I was in Publix the other day, and the guy that was packing my bags, he was a talkative guy, and so he just started talking. He was telling me it was his birthday. So I said, the weekend coming up. So I was like, oh, okay, happy birthday, blah blah blah. And so he says, I'm gonna be 26. Now this man had to be every bit of 55. So
Right.
I asked him, I said, well, how many times have you been 26? And I don't think he could really do the math. So he just kind of chuckled and was like, I've been there a couple times, and
Right.
just kept it moving. But, they say age is nothing but a number. And we have a lot of things attached to those numbers, right? So we feel certain ways because we think we're supposed to at 50, at 60, at 80. And we don't even realize that this doesn't have to be our life. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like it is what you make it from eating, exercising, not stressing. However you live your life, that's will determine whether or not you maintain your youth. So glad to hear you have been in touch with your inner self and your inner youth.
No doubt. What if he would have pulled out his ID and that shit would have said 26? You'd
Then I
have been
just
like,
started praying for him because
you
you'd have had a hard ass life.
you'd have,
Ain't no way in the world.
yeah, you'd have been like, this the real life Benjamin Buttons. Like,
Word.
Gina was like, "Nigga, you washed up and washed down. I don't know what the hell
right,
happened to
right.
Right. Like,
What he said, Gina. That's bad, Gina.
Right.
I'm just saying. Keita, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. My word of today, I think I had this word before though, but I feel accomplished. And the reason why I say that is because I've been working out with Thomas, but I accomplished y'all today that I ran and walked 2 miles.
All
That was a
right.
struggle.
All
Good.
That
right.
was a struggle.
Good stuff.
But we did it today. the way I
Kudos to
breathe
you.
in and out, trying to run the straightaway
Fat girl on today.
walk
That's
turn.
what happened. You got the
That is-
whole fat girl on today. That's what I'm talking about.
been there, done that. But congrats, 2 miles. Like,
Right.
that's a milestone. It sounds like that's a milestone for you. So congrats.
Yes, I am
Right,
so
right.
happy.
And in this moment, I want to go ahead and give you a shout out too. Keita let us know that Keita has lost 9 pounds.
Oh, thank you. Yes,
Yeah.
Yes, that's big shit.
Yeah, I'm right.
I know the struggle. And you get the 9, like you done put in some work. So congrats.
Oh, well, thank you.
Ladine, how you doing
Yo.
today?
Well, I am not having a good day today.
You're right. Say I'm real curious to see what your word gonna be.
No, well, first, how am I doing? All right, so let's talk about how I'm doing. So my day today was it actually wasn't too bad. It was pretty good. I was having a good day, but then this man, I talked to a customer today, and man, he drew me for a loop. He messed me all the way up. But my word for today, it's not gonna be good, y'all. I have been lazy, so it's gonna be lazy. So I have been lazy. So I have been doing good with drinking my shakes and eating better. And I'm so proud of myself with this. But I could be making a couple of better choices. I got these little portion containers that I'm scared to use, but I told JR he has to use them if he's going to serve me a plate. So we're doing good in that area, but the exercise, yo, the exercise. Like this is why I'm laughing at Keita talking about she got the fat girl on because man, listen, when I go outside and I start walking, you want to talk about heavy breathing? When I say the fat girl be in full effect, it be in full effect, yo. I don't even know how to handle it. I'm like, what is happening here? It's like, why
Yeah,
am I here? What's going on?
the struggle is real. I do when I'm exercising, walking is one of the things that I do, and I hate that I kind of fell off because I was doing really good. And yo, I joined a challenge in July. What's this? It was either June or July. Actually, it was June and July, right? I joined a challenge. It was a 60-mile challenge, so you had to walk 60 miles within that month. And
Oh,
so I
that's a
did
good
June. Yeah, I
challenge.
did June. Yeah, we could do it.
We
We
could
could do the
do
three of us,
it.
right? Or the six of us
Yeah.
if the guys are interested. But anyway, so I did it I accomplished it the first month in June. And then I signed up again in July. Man, by week 2, I was like, fuck this. But
Hey, but you
and
did it.
my thing is like I can walk. I don't mind walking. I can't really do the running a whole lot because of my knees, but I'll try it sometimes until my knees are like, "What are you stupid? We went through this last year, right?" But
Start giving out on you. It's
yeah.
not a
Um,
game. It's not
but one
a
of the
game.
things that's discouraging for me, right? And this is really like I really need to have a shift in my mindset, right? But it became discouraging because no matter how much I walked, I mean, I'm doing 5, 6, 7 miles a day. It did not seem to impact my weight, right? And while I know that what is it, like 80%, like the biggest difference that you're going to make is in what you eat, you know? So I continued it for the health reasons, and clearly that didn't stick. But when I exercise, like
Don't
because
make
I
me.
don't like to exercise. And so I want to know that it's going towards not just my health goal, but also my weight goal. Because otherwise, I should be doing something else that's going to help this fucking weight. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, but we definitely should do it, guys. So we'll talk about it in the post show. All right. So did you tell, are you, Ladine, that's all you got for us? Or
Yeah,
were
I
you
said lazy.
interrupted and you finished?
No,
Okay,
no, I
cool.
mean you
Well,
good. I just
I
said
was just
lazy. That
checking
was my
in,
word.
making
You
sure
know.
that you got to say what you wanted to say. All
I,
right, JR, follow your wife up. How you doing today?
I'm good. My word of the day, at the risk of being judged by my little cousin, I'll say I'm humbled. Um,
Who
um,
happens to just stick his head in the door
oh,
just now?
well, that's for him. Um, so I'm the anti Alvin.
Okay.
Yeah. So thanks for the shout out. Yeah, I am humbled. This journey from my previous position being COVIDed, as we'll put it. Um, it could have been a lot harder these last 6 months. I know for some people it has been, and I feel like not just myself, but my wife, my family, we have managed to thrive and grow through this. So I'm humbled, because in you know realistically speaking, I feel like my wife always tells me like you always get like the best jobs, right? And I do get lucky a lot of times with jobs. Just I end up like doing something I really love for compensation I really like. So I always feel like I am lucky. So I am humbled because of this because I could be digging ditches or some shit and some shit I really hate. And so I'm humbled and I'm thankful.
Good. Congrats
Thank
again. You just made me
thank you.
think of a topic for another podcast, but
Mm,
I'll just add
okay.
it to the list and we can go on.
Yeah.
All right, Al, bring us home. How you doing?
What's up, everybody? What's up, fellow co-host? Um, what's my word for the day? My word for the day is change.
Change
Changes.
is
I,
coming.
yeah, change soon come. I think change because I mean, one, I went into the office today, and it was one very different experience because I probably been there maybe 5, 6 times, maybe since March, but just seeing you could tell they're preparing for us to come back on a consistent basis. They got the temperature readings at doors as you come in and out, the plexiglass in front of people's desks. So definitely just kind of was a reminder that change soon come in terms of my teleworking. And but actually, it was a good experience. Like I actually got good work done, met some people. So in some ways, I'm kind of looking forward to it, even though as I'm driving home, I was reminded like, yo, it is a pandemic out in this motherfucker. Like, don't get caught up thinking that it's back to normal just because you back at work and it feels like it was February, but no, it's still COVID. And when you go home, make sure you take off your clothes and this just a shock that how shit has changed, but in some ways, just more change is coming. Other change that kind of alerted to me that I'm guess a little saddened about was my rec league reached out to me to see if they hadn't made a decision if they was coaching. I mean, if they was putting on a league this year, but wanted to see if I was on a coach. And so, I had to let them know, like, unless shit drastically changes, I don't expect to be coaching this season.
Really? You didn't tell me that.
Yeah, that just happened.
Wow.
Like again, yeah, like I do enjoy it and value that, and it's kind of not a good feeling to know that I wouldn't be doing that this year because of this pandemic. So change.
And so, Al, how many years have you coached?
Let's see, 1, 5. I think this would be season 12 in a row.
Wow.
Yeah. Ouch.
That's a difference.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
And you coach what, Al?
Youth basketball.
Oh, okay.
A middle school team and a high school, like 12 and under and 14 and under. No, 14 and under and 18 and under. So middle school squad and a high school squad. That age level.
Yeah. Well.
So Keita, I don't know if Thomas knows, but Al, both of our children played basketball, and so Al started coaching when my son was little. He started coaching my son, and so he's been doing it since. And even when they aged out, like he's continued to coach, and he coached my daughter a couple of years, not. But those years, she joined the boys' team so that she could, be coached by her dad. But Al was actually honored a couple of years ago because there's very few people that continue to coach after their children age out, and definitely for this long. So I'm kind of surprised I haven't heard about this because I know this is big for him, and like that's a real heartbreaker.
I figured I'd do like LeBron and make this like the decision.
Right. All the proceeds will go to charity.
Do a special reveal on the One Eye Show.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, I'm gonna miss you. I'm gonna miss the chronicles, man, of your seasons. Either on this show or the other show. But you jumping back in next year? I mean, given everything goes back. Okay, cool.
Chances are I'll be back.
All right.
See this being a permanent hiatus. Just more of under the circumstances,
you're just going to play you're going to play minor league baseball for you. We get it.
Yeah, let somebody else win this year. That's all right.
But Al, I kind of feel like, I don't know, but I feel like that this is something that can be done safely.
Well, again, I told him I didn't tell him no. I just said. And they ain't basing their league on me, so
right. I know,
they'll keep me in the loop, and we'll make a call. But that was, facing that possible reality that you might not be getting a trophy this year, son.
Yeah. All right. So, I'm only saying it because I know how much you love it, but I ain't gonna be mad about you having more time for me on the weekends. Because that basketball shit between that and football. Al, tell him how many years out of how long we been married? Let's say in the past 30 years, how many years? No, since we've been married, because I didn't say it before we got married. So since we've been married, how many years, or during football season, at the beginning of football season, and then sometimes during, do I announce that I want a divorce?
Out of the 25, probably 17.
Wow.
Same here, Gina. Don't worry, I do it all the time.
Not no more.
Really?
Not no more. You don't.
Honestly, again, that's
Not no more, I
another
don't.
probably another topic for
That's
a
another topic.
podcast
Mhm.
because I do have a cousin who broke up a relationship because the dude was coaching youth sports. Like he wasn't spending the time she was expecting from a boyfriend because he had committed to these youth. And I'm tripping like, yo, son, you're basically breaking up with somebody. The shit I do, like,
Wow.
and I love that you're saying that you don't want to be with nobody because he wants to help young boys develop. Really? Like, is that what you're saying? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like,
Nah, that's not what she was saying. She was saying that it was about it wouldn't have mattered what she was doing, what he was doing. So it's not you coaching young boys. Nah, that's not the issue. The issue is you don't have time for me. It wouldn't have mattered if that nigga was sitting in the toilet, twiddling his thumbs. If he did that too long, her response would have been the same. You ain't got enough time for me. I got to go.
Got to go.
Got to go. But that's also that person that he's talking about, an only child, used to being the center of attention. So I said, listen, only children are wonderful. They're wonderful people. I'm sure there are plenty of them out there. But if you ask me, as a young person, how many children you should have, I'm never going to say one. Never. Because you end up pursing people's lips together.
it's an inside joke, and it's not funny for that person because we were just talking about abuse last week. We were just talking about domestic abuse last week, and you just suddenly, if he's listening, it is just like a reminder that my cousin once took his lips and twisted it up like he was a 4-year-old.
Damn.
And he took it.
Prayerfully, he wasn't too wounded, and he's moved on with his life, and he's okay.
I would pull over right now if that was me, and I'd be listening to it like, damn.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I did not mean to re-traumatize anybody. I apologize. All right. So y'all ready to get into the topic for tonight?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So, listeners, we are talking tonight about trust. That's a big one. A lot of people say that trust is the cornerstone of a marriage. So I pulled a quote that I'm going to, and y'all just tell me, we'll start there. Tell me what you think about it. And if you agree, a marriage without trust is like a car without gas. You can stay in it as long as you want, but it won't go anywhere. What y'all think? You like it?
Yes, I'm pretty spot on to me.
Okay. Share your thoughts, your reasoning behind your strong agreement with the quote. And I don't know who wrote it. I got it from wherever, and it was not anybody. There was no credit given to anyone. Just for you Karens out there that's going to have a problem with me not giving credit. So what y'all think?
Somebody spoke up. Y'all go ahead. Whoever that was.
I think Keita was the first to say, I like it.
Go ahead, sis.
Oh, I was. So trust in the relationship. That is a big one. Yes, that's something that you definitely need to have um in any relationship is trusting that person, because if you don't have trust, then I'm seeing just a lot of drama. I'm seeing a lot of like stress, all of the above. But I feel like the trust has to be really strong. But I even tell Thomas this all the time. I think about my grandmother, what she used to say. If there's no trust in the relationship, but like I say, I'm gonna trust you from day one. Because I married you, so I believe like we got to have that trust. But definitely, I've always said whatever is done in the wash is gonna come out in the rinse.
Mm.
So I feel like I'm not gonna be on you of like what's going on, checking your phone, doing all this above. But I have to have access to everything now. Like, don't even trip thinking that you're gonna be in the house and I can't get in your emails and I can't get in your phone, because I'm gonna get in there. Because always got to remember also, mama didn't raise a fool, so you still got to still be on the lookout, because sometimes things might happen. But trust is a big one for me, but it's not something I stress about or try to talk to him about, like, or snoop around or anything like that, because I feel like it's gonna come to light if there's no trust.
Mm.
Okay. Anybody else?
Hold on, that was a little contradicting, Keita. I gotta check you on it real quick.
It was
So
okay.
it was because how are you going around? Like, how do you need access to emails and passwords and stuff like that, right? If
Yes.
you're not snooping around.
Yo, Ladine, I literally just wrote on my paper, Keita. Some people might
Come
say
on.
that's a lack of trust.
Yeah, I'm just saying. So what's happening? What's
I,
happening?
I was going to wait, but all right. What you got, Keita?
It's not really like a lack of trust. It's just that you still have to have access to those things, because I feel like, not saying that if I'm snooping around on it, you have people that's in some relationships where they can't even go in their man phone, or they don't even know the codes in different things. But I feel like I have to have that. Like, everything should be open, because you still have in the back of your head, people are human. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm.
if I
I
feel
don't
like
know.
something is may be going on, I can get into the phone because I have access to it. It's my phone. I'm paying for it. You may be paying for it, but my money.
This is mad funny right now. No, this is
What can I
mad
get a what
funny.
are we doing here?
Right.
Right. Ladine, where you at? Where
No.
you at, Ladine?
No, this is mad funny because, like, so for instance, so me, I feel so I don't have access to JR's email, and I don't go in his phone. Let me tell you something. I went into JR's phone the one time we was first together. We were first together. It was within like the first, say, 9 months of our marriage. I mean, not our marriage, our relationship. Biggest mistake. I'll never do. I had not done it again. I just don't. I'm not doing that. If I got to snoop in your phone, then I don't trust you. I definitely don't want passwords to your emails and stuff like that. But that's me. So it's definitely, I think, a matter of choice. A matter of opinion. But I don't want access to his phone because I don't even want to know, like, I just cannot. If look, if I can't trust him and he wants to go, he knows go. Word. Don't waste my time. I don't want to be here if you don't want to be here. So let's be clear.
Right.
If you
You
don't
know,
want to be here, you could go. But I understand. I have plenty of people that are like Keita, and they want access to everything,
but
and they feel that builds the trust.
there is a difference, at least in my
Mhm.
mind, between snooping and having access.
Mm.
Yes.
Just
What's the
because
difference?
the difference is just because I know your password, that doesn't mean that I'm looking. It doesn't mean that I'm snooping. You know what I'm saying? Like
But,
I
but
could be
having
I
access is like a gateway drug.
Yeah.
not
It's like,
necess- No, I mean, yes
But
and no.
it is
But
because like marijuana can lead to you trying other drugs, not necessarily.
no, it don't.
Yeah, it does and it doesn't, right?
I'm
Like
sorry,
like
it's so
being
funny.
getting high all the time can lead to say, I don't get high off this shit no more. Let me try some better shit. Like having access to can lead to saying, I do have that nigga's passwords while he out to 2 o'clock in the morning, or it may not. I'm just saying it could, it couldn't. It could be a gateway drug. I don't know. My
It's
biggest
kind of like, I feel like it's not a gateway drug, just like I feel like marijuana is not a gateway drug, right? It's not the marijuana, it's the person.
that's my point. For some people it is. For some it's not.
Okay, I can absolutely agree with that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have access, and I feel like I don't snoop or anything like that.
Have you ever
I
snooped?
love you.
I never paid attention. Like I really didn't even pay attention to that haven't even triggered to my head until this conversation when you say I have access. You know what I'm saying? That's not. Yeah.
Okay.
I have his code or he has my information. Man, shit, the kids got our codes, so it's nothing to hide over here.
Hell no.
Right. So I mean I get it.
No.
But but you didn't marry the kid. So like
Yeah.
right. So I don't know. Two things. One, I always have a big belief that if you looking for something, you're gonna find it. All right. So if you go to snooping, if you are, whether you got access or whether you gain access or whether you steal, like however you get access, if you go looking for something, you're gonna find what you're looking for. Secondly,
Wait.
Go ahead, Jay. I didn't know there was a second one. My bad.
Oh, that was secondly. I'm just also a big believer that even if you are married or you're in a relationship, whatever it is, there are some things that should remain like to yours. You should remain individuals on certain levels. And to me, unless we have a Facebook account that says Gina and JJ, or
a lot of people have.
right, and some people do, and it's weird, but hey, that's theirs. Or if you have a dual email address, or you share a business email. I'm just a big believer that my phone is mine. That's why we have separate phones. And if my email address is mine, which is why we have separate ones. Certain things I feel like should remain mine. And, to me, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm doing things I'm not supposed to be doing. But to me, privacy doesn't mean deviance. Privacy means some things I want to keep to myself.
So I agree with you, Jay, in the sense that this seemed more of a case of privacy, like having access to people's info is more of a case of privacy, not necessarily trust. So I think, whether or not someone has the access, I think we've heard different points in terms of why you would, why you wouldn't, but I think it's more of an issue of privacy. I think to your point, though, I think, Jay, when you said if you go looking for something, you're going to find it, I think it's more if you go looking for something, you're going to find it if it's there. And you could be looking for something, and if there's nothing there, you ain't going to find nothing. So I'm not a big believer that just because you found it because you looked for it.
Well, let me clarify. What I meant by that was whether it's there or not.
You know what I mean? 'Cause, I've heard that comment before. Well, you go looking for trouble, motherfucker. You gonna find? Well, nah, nigga, because the trouble was there.
Well, no, this is what I mean. This is what I mean by that. If I go looking for some shit because I think something's happening, I'm gonna manifest. I'm gonna make. It can be something that's not even the case.
You can make it
I'm
up
gonna
in your head, right?
I'm gonna say, oh, there it goes, right there. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, and I think that's what that saying means.
Right,
because you're going in with the intention of finding something. Really, like real talk.
Yeah.
Most time, 99% of the time, when you're going to look, it's because that distrust is there, or
there's a seed
you
planted
expect
already.
something. Right. And so you go in with that intention And that's what you end up finding, whether it's innocent or not. You're just, because that's your perspective. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're looking at something. You be like, you said hi to that bitch yesterday.
Right.
What?
Right.
Why?
Why you say hi to
Why
her?
you say
Why the
hi?
why the fuck you liking his why the fuck you liking her pictures? Right.
Right, because I tell you, anytime if I go to JR's Facebook page and I'm just in the mood and I'm just looking for something, I find something because I'm looking for something stupid because I'm in the mood and I'm looking for something. Why you her friend? I need to know. I need to know why. I need
But
to know who
see,
she is and what's happening. And it's stuff like it's just so irrelevant. It really is because you're allowed to have friends and I'm allowed to have friends. And that's just because that's just
Says
the
who?
relationship that we've built. But there is shut up, JR. But I'm not gonna front. It's not like these things haven't happened in our relationship. They've definitely happened. And we've both had to put our foot down in certain, in certain and but yeah, anytime I went looking for something, yeah,
You
I
found it.
I did.
Mhm.
see,
At
I
least in
think
your
trust.
mind, you found it.
In
We
my
know the
mind, I did.
reality is you
Right.
didn't find anything, but
Mm-hmm.
in your mind,
Right.
I
Right.
think trust.
I'm just saying for the point of this conversation, you ain't find nothing, and it's just all in your mind.
Yeah, I think trust is great. I think verification ain't bad either.
Mm.
And you verify
Mm.
by inspection. Like
Mm.
that to me is like just common sense. So ain't not trust is amazing, and I can trust my seatbelt is in properly. Ain't nothing wrong with me verifying that shit is
So
good though.
how do you
And the only
verify other than getting into an accident?
Or looking
I
right.
could just check it and pull it and inspect it.
But how is that different from looking at somebody's phone?
I don't think it's different at all. That's my point. It's
Oh, so
inspection.
you're okay with me going through your phone? Like,
Right.
Like, yeah, I think the reason you wouldn't be okay, I think, okay, so privacy is great, right? And so I am an advocate for privacy. But I think if you was like, yo, Al, can I look at your phone? I would be like, here, I would give it to you. Now,
But for what?
to me,
That would
the
be my first
inspection,
question.
if she wants to inspect.
Why?
Like, to me, like, the snooping is doing it without my knowledge. That to me would be, I would have a problem with that. Like, yo, why you just ask me? You can look at my fucking phone.
But like to me, like either is insulting to me. I mean, unless I've given you a reason to, but like at that point, I think it's past going through my phone. If I've given you a reason not to trust me, like so, I can't think of like, and like I've told my wife before, in those moments when I've like when I've gone through her phone one time, I didn't like how I felt. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the person that made me. So like that's why like I don't like how I felt doing it. I felt like a fucking creep. So I,
so I think, for Al and I, like I do, I think it makes a difference. There is a difference between snooping and, like the example that Al used. Because there have been times when, not for the purposes of looking through the phone, but there's been times when we're like, let me use your phone. Let me use your phone.
right,
And
that happens.
at any point that there's some hesitation, then there's a problem in my mind, right? Because I'm not really trying to hear, I just want privacy. I'm really just trying to use your phone.
I'm
You
not
know what I'm
trying
saying? Like, I can't find mine. Let me use your phone to
right.
find my phone. But when the questions come and it's like, no, 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 you can't look at my phone. I'm a private person. But like that to me is where it would be a problem. And I will tell you, in the past, I've
So
snooped.
strong.
I have absolutely snooped. And I agree that when you snoop, you're going to find something. A lot of times it's shit that you make up in your head. But, I learned early on, and I have a girlfriend who snooped for years and years and years, right? And so my question to her always would be, what you gonna do when you find it out, when you find
Man,
information?
damn.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? If, and I would say this to her, if you are not going to leave him, stop looking, because
Mhm.
all that's going to do is cause
It's make you
problems.
crazy. You
Going to
gonna
make you
go fucking
angry. You're
crazy.
going to be
Oh, sorry.
hurt. Y'all shit is gonna be volatile for who knows how. You know what I'm saying? And so stop looking. If you really don't want to find the answer, stop looking. And when I came to that realization, like, and here's the other thing, right? And I ain't even gonna lie, this is one of the things that made me think, like, well, shit. Because if you're snooping and you find something, the only way that you can confront your spouse is if
Exactly.
you admit that you were snooping.
Right.
That is true.
Which I have
It
no
becomes
problem
a
with that.
bigger problem.
Well, I think it depends what you
No
find.
problem with that. No
Ah.
I think it depends what you find because if I find, I think if a person finds infidelity or that you're embezzling money or like, so if it's something that, in my opinion, totally trumps snooping, I don't mind telling you I went through your shit to find that crazy shit you was doing. I'm gonna throw that shit on the table real
Right.
quick. Like, hold up, let me tell you, I went through your phone while you was asleep, and yo, what the fuck are you stashing all this money for? What the fuck is that about?
Who the fuck is
I'll talk
JJ?
as long as you want about these stupid shit. But yes, I did tell.
Who the
Oh
fuck
my
is Jimmy?
goodness.
Find out that you
You
stealing
rocking
money.
with Jimmy
Yes,
again?
please.
And it's even more funny, y'all, because he's so dead ass serious.
Dead ass
He's
serious.
dead ass
I ain't
serious.
worried about
And
getting caught for some misdemeanor if I find the felony.
Right.
and while that's logical, right? That's you. A lot of times, and we all know this, a lot of times arguments, discussions, whatever, get derailed by less important shit. You know what I'm saying? Or shit that just doesn't matter just because. And you can keep trying to bring it back, and eventually you might win or whatever, but you're going to waste a lot of time still arguing about that misdemeanor,
Right.
especially if the person is guilty. I'm focusing on the misdemeanor because I don't want to talk about the damn felony.
See, for me, trust. I mean, y'all have talked about it. Like, trust is an emotional thing, and the more you trust somebody, the better you feel about somebody. But I don't like feeling some bullshit, or it's like it's not real. It's not based off of anything. So I would rather know that I am feeling something that is appropriate, and that when I look at this person, I know this person. What I'm feeling is based on some evidence and through my inspections. I wouldn't mind knowing that, and so I'm okay with checking and having something to base that trust off of to be like, yo, real talk, yeah, I believe her because
Yeah, but that's only the limited knowledge that you have. Like that person's still gonna have the ability to like scheme on you if they want to. Whether you feel like you doing everything you can to verify, they still gonna. You can't be with them 24/7. Like it's only so much you can do to make yourself feel better. So you still have limited verification.
even more of a reason.
Well, and then another.
God damn! I
And see,
followed you today.
I'm like, for me.
Al, like, yeah, baby, I missed you today.
Why it's
I could have
good.
said it better myself.
I missed you.
It's
I missed
also
you so
good
much. I
why you
followed you
have
today.
access, with his phone and with social media is because, I mean, y'all in a marriage or whatever, and so it gives you. Because sometimes I get on his Instagram or Facebook, but it shows me I'm not on there to snoop or anything. It just my phone may be dead and I'm on his phone or whatever, but. It gives me a knowledge, like I'll be like, "Oh, Thomas, who is this?" Because he's not gonna be able to tell you who his friends are or how he know this person or whatever, whatever. So sometimes don't I ask you that a lot? I'd be like, oh, well, who's this person? And you can see what he likes, what he don't like. Oh, he might got a lot of friends like big booty women, I mean.
But
I
what?
mean,
So
what you
hey,
gonna
now
But
do?
you
what?
know he ain't on the
But
he may be not on the closet side. So it just a lot of confirmation on a lot of things when you have access.
right. So okay. So if he does like if he got 10 friends that are big booty women, is he gonna like change that because you found out?
No, I'm fine with that.
Right.
That's
So
what that,
what does
that's
it matter?
I don't have to worry about my man being in the closet neither. I don't have to.
So if
He still like
but if
the
your
women.
man is in the
If
closet,
he
like,
got a lot of pictures of men, then it's an issue.
but then he just stupid if he got it all over his phone.
So yes. So
Keita, you're able to confirm certain things like him in the closet, but at the same time, using Jay's example, or actually Jay building on your example, if he got 50 big women in there and you see him liking all these big women pictures, big butt women pictures, and I don't know if you have a big ass or not. Listeners, y'all may or may not know this, but I have never actually met Keita. I don't think I met Thomas either.
Well, Keita
I
did
was
tell us
told that I
that Pooh
have
approached her when they
big,
first
and
met
it's
because
what
she got a big booty. That's what she said.
that is. You know what? You right. She did say that.
Mhm.
Okay, so you got the big ass. Okay, let's say it was big breast. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever it is, my point is that you and you know what, Jr. Keita said that. Thomas didn't say that. Thomas said he
All
wasn't
right.
checking her like that.
Yeah, I know. I was joking. Yeah.
Keita was the one that said I had a big ass, so I know he was looking at my ass.
Right. Yeah.
Thomas was like, no, I wasn't.
He did acknowledge that she had it. He said that wasn't the reason he was following her,
She
though.
does have one.
Right.
Like I was not keeping you for that
In
night.
verbatim, he
But
did
okay.
say she was dragging that wagon.
But a lot of his friends are big booty women. So hey, I think I won on that part. But
Yeah, but my point is that it can also, while you're looking for confirmation of certain things, like some of those confirmations are not necessarily, you may not necessarily look at them as, in the best interest of your marriage. And so liking a lot of something else that you may not have, that just to me opens the doors for that insecurity to creep in. You know what I'm saying? Or that little bit of, or to increase your lack of trust. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever. So if you're going in with that intention, again, it's kind of the same thing. You're going to find some shit. And I'm going to push back, Keita. I'm going to push back because everything that you sounded, to me, I'm not saying that I'm right, but to me, it sounds a little bit like a lack of trust. I'm saying, like, that's what it's trust. Cool, you know what I'm saying? Because trust is on a lot of levels. That don't mean that you think he's ready to go out and have an orgy. You know what I'm saying? Like, but to me, there is that little seed of.
No. This is what I look at because I'm a stickler. Not like how we look, but we got to look good as a unit. You know what I'm saying? He can't be out here just liking a bunch of big booty pics. Like that don't even look good to me. Huh? And then we had a situation where that has nothing to do with trust. That's just like we don't look good as a unit here. Like what Ladine said. What are we doing here?
That's what I was doing.
I'm saying if.
Oh, what?
But you did have a situation. I had to check Thomas on. Man, it was like a.
Keita, get it.
What are you doing, Keita?
Undercover bushes, like
because we don't look good as a unit, and then you got your friends, your family stuff on social media.
You making us look crazy out here.
Thank you.
That happened with my sister and my brother-in-law. I became friends with my brother-in-law on Facebook. He over here talking about I get rica under these pictures of all these women with their butt. And I'm like, what are you doing? You got a wife and 3 daughters at home, and you over here liking all these nasty big booty hole pics. And I understand what she means by that.
Are you listening?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
no,
what it
the
like
thing is, I said what you did was this was someone in the family, but she's it was someone in the family that we knew, and he every time I go to her not go to her page, it comes on the feed. I saw that he was the first one that always liked it. I'm like, well, God, I was like, damn, I'm liking a lot of pics of this girl. Like, what's going on? Because I noticed every time that we may go around her, you know how people always stare at you or stare at your man and stuff like that. So that kind of be like, well, what? Like, I had to check him with that. I was like, you need to calm down with checking that because she might feel like, oh, I maybe can move in or say something, whatever. And then he got me looking like a fool and I'm talking, and we arguing or whatever with the girl. So I had to check him and be like, you need to stop liking all them pics. I don't know what's going on, but calm down with the likes. So things like that you get to find out. It's not that don't have the trust. We just don't look good as a unit. That's all.
First off, that was ridiculous to me.
What was ridiculous, Sam? What exactly are we talking about?
First off, that's ridiculous to me, because I don't even really didn't really like people things. Like if you comment to my stuff or like my stuff, then I'll be like, oh, okay, well they following me. Let me follow them. Just like almost like a courtesy thing. So it's not like I'm out, scouring the page for pics or whatever. I just be like, oh, boom, like it without even looking. I just, how you scrolling down and you just like. I like whoever. Now I come into everybody's birthday. Everybody does everybody that because they show not really interest in me, but they'll like my stuff or comment on my stuff. So I felt like reciprocity. So I do the same. And when she was like, well, yeah, why you coming? I was like, dude, are you really? That's
Are
what
we
you
doing this right now? What are we doing?
Yeah, he's giving that girl more confirmation.
I was like, that's what
he's interested.
I like,
stop liking it.
But she was all bent up in a knot because she was talking about, yeah, the girl was, she was looking at you, and I was like, looking at me, yeah, y'all was playing pool, and I saw. I'm like, man, get out of here, man.
See, now in this case, don't you think that that's something that like you could possibly make up in your head because that's what you're thinking, right, Chiquita? So just because that's something that you're automatically thinking, if a look even come his way from Shorty, you was automatically gonna be like, see, I know it. And I'm saying that because I've done that before. And I've been in that space before. So that's the reason why I'm saying that, because I would just be, but I also understand and I can respect what Keita means when she's saying, I need you to not allow these people to think that, to not allow another woman to be so comfortable, because a lot of women get really comfortable and you might not even be doing anything, and that's not the point. But some of these women can be so insecure and think that, oh my God, he liked my pic, because women are ridiculous like that. And they will take a like on a picture as, oh, well, he has interest in me, or they might throw shade like, why is her husband liking my shit? I don't give a fuck how many pictures of my friends or family members that my husband likes. And I wish a bitch or a family member would come to me and be like, oh, well, your husband's liking my pictures. Okay, and bitch, he fucking gave you a thumbs up. Like, what do you think this is? He didn't. Did he ask for your drawers? Did he fucking get, did it? Oh, look at me stuttering.
It's like Keon. It's like having Keon back.
Did he put his hands down your pants? Like, or like what's happening here right now? He liked your fucking picture. So I understand what Keita means by that, because some women, either they have insecurities or they like really, really search for external validation in so many different ways. And social media sometimes is the only place that they get it. So, but I understand what she means. Like, just make us look good. Because, I grew up in New York, and I just grew up around so many men that, I lost respect for in so many ways, and women too. When it came to the women, I lost respect for them because they've just, God forbid, they get a drink in their hand and they don't know how to act, and they're just like literally sloppy all over everybody's man. And then the same thing for the men. Like, how you have a wife and kids at home and you really like sporting the next chick around. Do you know what I'm saying? And so it's stuff like that. Like, just what she means is just make us look good in these streets. All right? And we good money. And you might not even realize that what you're doing is completely harmless. But that's why it's for her to check you on it. That's what we're here for. I mean, I'm just saying.
It was wild to me because I just like the joint back. I didn't really see anything, because we all, like, everyone. I'm thinking everyone, for everyone, like all of us in the same, family almost. Like, so I didn't see it even anything like that. To me, that was so far beyond me. I was totally lost.
Well, Pooh, like,
I
what?
Go ahead, Jay.
Oh, I was just like, I get exactly what you're saying, Pooh, but as my wife put it to me one time, it ain't you that I don't trust. It's that bitch. So,
Right.
so it may not have anything to do with you or your actions. And it can be taken on a case by case basis. It may have been somebody else you's liking, whose pictures you liking, but she wouldn't even worry about that shit. But for that individual, she's probably like, oh, I know that bitch. Don't be
But
liking her
at the
shit.
end of the day, though, whether you trust the other person, I think there is something to be said about trusting your partner and doing the right thing by you, so that
Right.
regardless of what the other person might be thinking by me liking this picture, as long as I know what I'm willing and not willing to do, fuck what she thinks.
Right, I get that, but also
I get that.
my priority is making sure my spouse is comfortable.
She ain't taking it from me, so
She not, but my priority, like
so who cares what she thinks?
whether I feel like like I'm doing something or I'm not, or somebody's taking it the wrong way. If my spouse is uncomfortable with it, there's something I got to take into regard. So
And I'm hearing you, but I think to y'all's point of when do you know this is something that you're finding because you're looking for it and it's really nothing there, and if you are just finding something that's really not there, like how often are you going to make your spouse deal with your shit?
right,
And if
how often do you
hold
say
on,
yes,
let me
dear?
finish, let me finish, let me
Okay.
finish. And at the end of the day, as partners, if we've talked about, let's try to minimize others having to deal with our shit. I think this is a case of that, where while yes, we need to take our others' feelings into account, but at the end of the day, let's acknowledge that what this is, and this ain't her, this ain't me, this is you.
Right, and that's my point. Is that sometimes you say yes, dear, even though you know your wife is wrong or you don't want to do it. Something you have those conversations within those
Thanks, babe.
particular
I mean, I'm
moments.
just saying.
And so, like I said, you take it on a case by case basis. Sometimes you may feel like saying, you know what, fuck that. I'm not changing what I'm doing because I'm absolutely not doing anything and there's nothing going on.
And
But
he has done
sometimes,
that too.
if you, right. But, sometimes there is, if you look at it from both sides and you can genuinely see why she may be affected by it, sometimes I will be like, you know what, it ain't worth it. Her being upset or uncomfortable or even looking for more shit. Like, I just dead it. It ain't that serious.
But like, is there any situation, Jay, that's that serious? Like, why wouldn't you dead every situation, whether or not you agreed with your wife? Because we're talking about her feelings. And so, is it
Because they're
necessary for you to agree with her feelings in order to address them or to meet her where she is,
no, it's
even
not.
if she's fucked up at the moment?
No, it's not. But like I said, I'll take it on a case by case basis. It's not necessary for me to agree with her feelings, but it's not mandatory for me not. You know what I'm saying? It's on a case by case basis. I can't throw a blanket over it and say I'll do this every single time. But there have been times where I'm like, you know what? I'm not doing anything wrong, and I'm not. This friendship is important to me. This friendship has been there before I even met you. So no, I'm not dead in this because you are insecure. So there are those moments where I'm like, you know what? The other things are important as well, like my feelings as well, and we'll talk about it. And if we come to a conclusion that we agree to disagree, we'll figure that shit out. But if we agree on it, we'll figure that shit out too.
Makes sense
So,
to me.
so Al used to say to me all the time. Well, not all the time. That's not accurate. He used to say to me that if a person is not willing to give up a situation, once your spouse says to you, I'm uncomfortable with your friendship with this person, that if they insist on remaining friends with them, that is because someone has feelings.
I agree.
I think that's bullshit.
Who said that, Ladine?
Hmm. I think it depends on the situation because I don't always think that it's so now if you're just friends, yeah, but if you have history with this person, nah, son, we not doing this. But as far as friendships, no. I mean, I don't know.
But
I've never. I don't know.
I think it's bullshit. Just because, again, that's some shit that you going into with your insecurities, and you making a snap judgment based off of your history and your trauma, whatever you bring it into it, with you viewing it through the lenses of you, not through the lenses of reality. Is it necessarily bullshit? No, but typically it is. Like on the surface, it is because, like, if I got a fine ass big booty friend named Tina and we ain't never done nothing. But if Tina was a big black ugly dude named Fred, you wouldn't have these issues. It's your insecurities that are stepping into this realm, not mine. And
I mean, come on, Jay. Jay, come on.
Look,
You wouldn't have a relationship. You, Jay. I'm not saying everybody. You, Jay, would not have a relationship with what you say, Big Ugly Fred.
well, I know I got a lot of friends that are big ugly Freds.
No. I'm not saying a friendship.
Oh,
I'm talking about a
okay.
relationship, an inappropriate relationship.
No, but who said it was inappropriate though? No, you throwing salt in the game. Ain't nobody said it was inappropriate.
We're talking about the perspective of your wife,
Right,
and how she looks at a friendship.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about her insecurity. We're not talking about the reality of
Right.
whether or not it's inappropriate.
Right.
You
Okay, I get what you're saying.
categorize it as her insecurity.
Mhm.
And so, of course, she's not going to be insecure about Big Ugly Fred, because she know you would never, you JR. I'm not talking about everybody.
Right.
She knows that you JR is not going to fuck Big Ugly Fred.
She should also know.
Listen, no.
Oh. Mhm.
I'm saying as a possibility, that's something that would never, ever happen. But it is a possibility that you might fuck Big Booty Tina.
Okay, so now that
So for you to say we're going to put those two situations in the same category, come on, Jay.
No. Okay, now that you've accused me as well, let me reply. What I'm saying. That's what you just said. Like, okay. First of all, I'm joking. It was kind of tongue in cheek. Okay, but let me reply to it, please. What I'm saying is, if she knows that I'm with her, like I am, and she knows me as a person, the man that I am, she should also know that there's no possibility I'm fucking Tina either. So I know a lot of Tinas as well. Am I fucking? No. Right, but she don't know. No. I just let you talk for 15, like 30. Let me reply to this.
You replied.
No, I'm not done. Like I let you get yours out. Just let me get this out. Can I finish, please? That's all I'm asking you. What I'm saying is, she may, in your perspective, she may think that whatever I do with Tina, she can't verify anything. Hell, just like Keita just said, there's a whole lot of dudes out there who they wife don't think that they do nothing with Fred until they found out that they would. So either way, she don't know. It's still her perspective, and it's still her lens of viewing. Either way, if she knows me, she knows I ain't fucking either one of them.
And again, Jay, a lot of people, men and women, who participate in infidelity, a lot of them, their spouse would have said, I was so sure he would have never cheated on me.
Right. I agree with that.
Not the issue at all.
Yes, knowing me. It ain't got nothing to do with all these other people she knows me. What we do and what we know has nothing to do with anybody else. I don't get how you don't get that.
So
okay, Jay.
The thought behind my statement is just that if your partner comes to you and objects with a relationship, not just really a behavior, but a relationship, that at the end of the day, it's really a matter of a choice. And regardless of the why, that person, like whether it's about insecurity or whatever, and you really can like say, yeah, I agree with this inappropriateness, like regardless, if they are asking for that choice to be made, if there's an unwillingness for them to choose you, to me, it's usually a sign that there's some deeper feelings there. And it's not just because you're not going to be willing to, chances are you are not going to be willing to not give up the relationship just on some friendship shit. This is going to be because you care for this person. And even from the friend's perspective, I would hope that they would say, yo, Al, real talk. Like, I know I've known you since whatever, but because we are such good friends, I don't want you giving up your marriage. Like, I know this shit is important. I'm a step back and you just do your marriage type shit. If not, like, I would really wonder why that person wouldn't want me to stay in my marriage. Like, they'd rather us be friends than me be married. Like, maybe because she wants to be with me. So that's kind of where my mindset was. Like, when you really look at it rationally, chances are somebody is having feelings somewhere if they're not willing to give up that relationship.
Like,
That's
I just don't see it that way. And that's why I said I think it's bullshit, because to me, and again, this has nothing to do with anybody and how everybody else did with me. That's the same if it's Tina or if my wife came to me and said, "Look, I think you and Pooh should stop being friends." I'd be like, "Fuck, is you crazy? Like, that's my dog." So I'd look at it the same way. I have a lot of pretty friends that I grew up with, that I knew before my wife, that I would be like, "Yo, that's my dog." Like, I don't get why you feel this way, other than those are your insecurities. That's why I'm so strong about this, is because it ain't about what other people feel or what other people have gone through. It's about my wife knowing me and me trusting me and me knowing the man that I am and me being able to control myself in certain situations and being able to compartmentalize my relationships. It has nothing to do with anybody else's history or what might happen. It's about me knowing myself and my wife knowing me as well.
And so, yes, so this is JR. Okay, let's be clear. And not all men are like JR. So I understand the point that Gina was trying to get
I'll put
to,
it this. I'm sorry. I'll put it this way. Pussy has never driven me. Pussy has never led me to make bad decisions. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, Ladine, what were you saying?
Right. So what I'm saying is that I understand what Gina was saying when she basically meant that, sorry. I understand what Gina was saying when she was saying that that it's a possibility because it's a man and a woman, because there's a penis, because there's two reproductive parts of the opposite sex, okay, involved, then that means that it's a possibility. Because as human beings, we have shit happens. And it's possible. And that is where Gina was coming from. Now, my husband might be a different, and there may be other men and women out there like him. But to me, in most relationships, and the majority of them is where, and the majority of the relationships that I was in prior to my husband, it was that deal. It was where it was always a possibility. So he literally had to really make me understand how much of an insult it was for him, for me to even believe that it was a possibility. But I completely understand what Gina's saying. Absolutely.
I do. If the purpose of this show is for me to speak on other people's perspectives, I'm speaking from mine. That's what I'm. No, because I'm like. You're asking, like, I don't know. Like, I'm not saying you're wrong. My purpose on this show is to tell my story. So that's what I'm saying. Like, and I won't be moved from that, if that's what you're asking me. But what I'm saying is, I don't look at it from anybody else's perspective. And when I'm telling something,
my only point was yes, and we want you to tell your story,
right?
And, all of that. And it wasn't about putting you in the same bucket as anybody else, or the point is everybody is human, and there are many men and women that was just as strong as you are on today, Wednesday.
Ain't nobody strong as me. Sorry about that.
In 2020, you know what I'm saying? But things change. Everybody's human, and everything is a possibility.
Who's
And
it,
so a
Kevin
lot of
Garnett now? No, it's
people
not. I'm telling you, it's not.
Okay, listen. I'm sorry.
Not for me.
I forgot you were superhuman.
No,
and
I'm
never
okay.
had-
So
It's cool.
no,
So for
so
everybody,
basically, you're telling me that I'm full of shit because I'm saying I
didn't
won't
say
cheat
that.
on my.
All
Basically,
I'm
that's what you're
saying
saying. What I'm telling you is I know you don't know me like I know me. Nobody does. What I'm saying is that shit's not possible. How is that so hard for anybody to fathom?
Listen, Jay. If it's not possible for you, it ain't possible for you.
Right.
Wonderful for you and Ladine. It's cool.
That's
So
what I've been
for-
trying to tell you since we started this shit.
No, not really. You're just trying to discredit my point as if I can't have a point that could
No.
also live with your point. But it's cool. So I have a question for everybody. So is infidelity a deal breaker?
No.
I'm gonna say no.
Who's that? Ladine?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else?
Deal breaker is in like right now, and if it happens now, no.
I would say no. I mean, if you giving him head, I'm done with you. But you know,
Dad.
God.
That's a deal breaker. Here you
Hey.
going it.
What is happening right
Hey,
now?
my hand, I'm with you. Hey, that's honesty though. Like,
yeah.
okay, I got a question, really, like within this question. No, because
Okay, wait, before you move on, my answer is it is a deal breaker for me.
okay,
It didn't used to be, but it is now.
okay.
And see, I like that, Gina. I like that because I like that because I don't think it was a deal breaker for me in my past. But do I feel like it's a deal breaker right now, moving forward? Absolutely. Because if you don't want to be here, then leave.
Right. So that was
a deal breaker for me too.
yeah. See, that's kind of my question. Like, does it mean like deal breaker in the sense that they're not going to leave, or deal breaker in the sense that shit's going to be the same ever again?
It's a deal breaker because there won't be any trust from me.
Deal breaker by peace out. Right.
Okay. Right.
That's
Okay.
what I understood.
And I
Deal.
feel like,
Yeah.
and I feel like before, like it would have been a deal breaker. I mean, but I think if it occurs and I mean, because I'm in the mindset of that. I mean, that
You're
anyone can
pulling
make a
your
mistake.
weight.
That anyone can make a mistake. So or whatever can happen. I don't know. That's just the mindset that I have, and people are not always perfect. So I wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't just throw 15, 20 years away for one hiccup. Not saying that everyone has that point of view, but I used to be that. Oh well, boy, I'm done. You know. So I guess I've changed with what I've invested in it.
That's exactly where I'm coming from, Pooh. It's like at the end of the day, that's not a mistake that to me is I'm worth throwing you away for. That ain't it. There's list and it's a small list, but there's a list. That ain't on it.
Murder's at the top.
Murder's on it.
And
And
murder,
it's up there.
murder and head. That's what y'all saying.
But I'm thinking, it's so funny to me.
Decapitation
that
and
the men are
fellatio.
saying- It's so funny to me that the men are saying it's not a deal breaker and the women are saying it's a deal breaker. So I'm thinking that it's not a deal breaker for the men. Is it because it's a question? Is it because you're not putting all your effort in the marriage and you know that it could
What?
Gina, what's
Hey,
happening
hopefully
right
it's a
now,
multiple
Gina?
choice because I'm passionate. And
Right.
it ain't.
I feel like it's a deal breaker for me because I'm still giving my 100%. You know, and if I'm giving my 100% to someone, and he decides to do that, like it's I'm done. I'm
No,
stressed out. I'm done.
I don't see it in that way because like I've read things and studies and it says that there's like 67% that men are more clingy than women, and you never would suspect that, but I guess that's along the same lines of that because you normally see women tolerate a lot of things. However, I guess it's flip flop when a guy's invest. I just feel like I'm not gonna throw everything away, and I've been with you for 15 years because I just feel like, I mean, I just feel like I can get by that. So not because no, I'm not putting it all in my marriage. Of course, I'll be crushed, but I'm not looking at it as doomsday. I mean the end all.
And to piggyback on that, I think why I totally agree with Pooh in the sense of that ain't gonna be the reason I bounce is because of how I look at the act of sex. And at the end of the day, like there's some real, like again, I've probably been this way all my fucking life. It's just fucking, and so it's like at the end of the day, if I can see it like that and know like that's what it was, and do I really want to throw that person away just for fucking? I ain't willing to do that. And like who said, I'm gonna be messed up, and it ain't just like I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm cool, but it ain't gonna be no deal breaker where I'm like, you did what? Oh fuck it, I'm out. No.
Yeah. At this point in the infamous words of Johnny Taylor, it's cheaper to keep her.
Well,
that might be true.
And
Right.
for me, I see it like this: just knowing our relationship, where trust has been lost in our relationship, and where how long it took to get trust back in our relationship. I'm good. I'm not doing that shit again. I'm not doing it.
So, yeah, I agree.
No,
Really,
because it's
Ladine.
yeah.
And it's the idea. And so, for me, it's the same reason that Thomas and Al said, like, of why they would stay. That's the reason why I'm like, I'm done. Like, it's the investment.
It's too much.
You know what I'm saying? I've been here, like, or we've been here together all this time. Like, it's 32 fucking years. This what you getting ready to do? Oh, okay. But for me, like, because it's been 32 years, like, there's a lot of shit here. And so the deal breaker for me doesn't necessarily mean that, like, I'm packing all my shit and I'm out, right? What it means for me is we probably now have a business relationship. We roommates.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, our relationship won't be the same. I won't say never, but, that would have to really be an intervention from the universe, from God, or whatever, for me to be like, oh, okay, we cool again. And I love my husband and I want my marriage, and it's not to say that that would just, it's a deal breaker for me. Like our marriage as we've known it would be over for me.
Right, and that's what my question. Like, I would, I'm not saying I would necessarily leave, but things may never be the same again. So, I don't know what you meant by deal breaker, but I get what you're saying. I agree with
whatever
you.
that means for you.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
For some, a deal breaker is clearly I'm out. Like,
All right.
fuck you, I'm moving on to the next.
Right.
And for others like me, it's just like, but I'm married, like, it's done. Like, but it's just easier and it's cheaper for you to keep me. It's easier for us to
Right.
stay. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because shit is hard out there
Mhm.
in them streets.
I'm right.
And so,
Just
when
got
they
my
move
credit
up
right.
Right, exactly. When you move upstairs, you stay downstairs, continue to pay the mortgage together. We got someplace to live, and, that's
Let's
good.
be clear, y'all. I never fucked his credit up. All right, I want to, make sure that
I ain't
don't
say
leave
that.
it for later.
I'm saying,
like,
ain't nobody say
like,
that.
Like,
Yo,
like you did.
what
I
a-
know you
what a-
didn't say it.
What are
I
we
just said
doing?
What
let's
are
be
right? What are
clear.
we?
Let's be clear. All right, Pooh? No, I'm
Right.
just kidding.
No,
What are we? What's happening? What are we doing here?
right? What are we
What are-
doing here?
Right.
What are we doing here?
Oh, it's great.
So Gina, do you got another question right now? Because I want to ask you something. Well, I want to ask everybody something.
Go ahead.
All right. So in the instance, because I mean it's a relationship. We've all been together long enough where it was little or big, however big it was, trust has been tarnished or broken or cracked or broken, torn to shreds. What are your standards individually? What are your standards on regaining trust and like when you have those conversations?
So I would think that there has to be a lot of contrition. So you gotta admit that you fucked up,
Mhm.
and openness. Like I need, whatever I ask, I'm expecting to be answered. Um, and time,
Mm.
like for me to process it and get through it. Those are kind of what it's taken to me to get right.
Okay.
And I don't think, and this is just me. I don't think there's anything you can do
Mm.
for
Oh,
not saying that I won't gain trust back.
Mm.
I'm just saying I just don't think that you can do anything.
Mm.
I just think that it relies on me, and like Al said, process how long it's gonna take me to process and get over and knock my own wall down, but I don't think there's anything you can do to help me gain trust back in you.
So if Keita's still calling Big Ugly Fred, you still cool with her not making changes?
I've never looked at any of that stuff like anything. So nothing ever bothered me. You know how laid back I am, Jay.
I'm joking.
So
It was just an opportunity to mention Big Ugly Fred again.
No, just saying. I've never looked at it.
I know.
Yeah, well, I don't know you like that, and I'm not joking.
Mm.
And that seems to. So I'm just gonna push back, right? So Thomas, if you and Keita had a situation where there was some infidelity on her part, right?
An entanglement.
Right, and you were asking her questions,
Mm-hmm.
and she refused to answer your questions. You don't think that would be damaging? That would not that those would be actions that would inhibit you, or at least retard the process of you getting back trust in her?
No, I don't think so, because asking questions like why or where were you, or I just don't know. I mean
No, I don't mean those kind of questions. It might
what
just
type
be
of
like because the why, I mean the why is important. Like it really is important. Um but I don't mean like tactical kind of, but just a simple, so Keita, remember that night when I didn't know where you were, and blah 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 blah. Were you with him that night when I was, and if she was like, I don't want to tell you, you wouldn't be like, why not? Like, what is the problem? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Be- because I just see myself as I'm different in that aspect, because I just wouldn't want to. I just wouldn't want to, what we talked about it. You said whatever, or I found out about it, and if I make the decision where, okay, I'm gonna stick it out, I just don't even see myself even getting into those questions.
I
Would
agree
you?
with Thomas.
Would you even want the commitment that it won't happen again? Like, would you want?
If you tell me, yeah, whatever, it's over, it was a mistake at that point, but I'm not gonna be badgering you, trying to get that out of you, because if you're not saying that, if you're not saying, what, that won't happen again or whatever, then I'm not even contemplating on staying.
All right.
However, if you tell me that from the get go, then yeah, we can move on. But I'm, like I said, I'm not gonna be badgering you or asking you
Right.
question after question.
but
So
like,
that's what
like
I'm saying.
you,
Go ahead, Jim.
I mean, I'm just saying, and maybe that's not the question you would ask. But I mean, any question, like just any question that you just had, Thomas, whether it was big or small, or where you were, or what you did, or just any question that would help you to process. And if
But
she refused to answer the question, you would be okay with that?
I mean, for you guys asking me the question aspect, I would say no. But I'm just saying, for me, the person I am, I wouldn't even ask. I wouldn't even ask questions.
Right. So you wouldn't even ask. So you wouldn't ask her. And this, I'm just trying to gain clarity. You wouldn't ask her if it's going to happen again. You would wait for her to tell you that.
No, once whatever the shit hits the fan, or however you want to put it, the boot hits the floor, whatever, however you want to have it. Once they hit the fan, we're talking or whatever, and she, you know what, I made a mistake, this, that, and that. If she doesn't come out and say that immediately, then I know she doesn't want to be with me.
But that's what I'm talking about.
And that's how I feel about it. But I'm not going to be asking questions.
But I'm saying in that initial conversation, I can't imagine you not having a single question. You found out, now y'all are talking about it. You're trying to move forward. Now I'm just saying, like, in that, even if it's just the original initial conversation, I just found out you was fucking ugly Fred. And any question you may have asked in that initial, I just found out you was fucking. If she wasn't completely forthcoming with whatever it was you asked her, even if it was as simple as, I don't know, just what, I'm just saying. And so I guess I'm having a hard time conceptualizing that in a conversation, whenever it happened, immediately or 6 months down the line or whatever, that it would be hard for me to conceptualize if that person is now still not willing to be open with you. I can't imagine that not stunting.
I think that I think it also sounds like you're having an issue understanding that whatever it is that she's going to do or she's not going to do, her actions basically aren't going to affect him. He's making his decision on trust based on who he is. Right. And I think that's hard. Right. I think you're having an issue with that. Are you? Because that's what it sounds like also. Because for me, I agree with him on that. My husband hasn't been able to do anything specifically to make me trust him more. There are things that I may have asked him to do, right? Or that I may ask him to do because I just don't like that shit and I'm not having that shit. Same here. He might have asked me to do some things because he's not having that shit, and that's it. So, but as far as like other than just like he can't romance me more to make to put a smile on my face or make me trust him more. You know what I'm saying?
No, I completely listen. Don't misunderstand. I completely agree with Thomas. It has to be me coming to the realization or the decision that I'm going to forgive this person, I'm going to move forward, I'm going to trust her, like all of that. I completely agree.
You trying to say he ain't got no questions at all?
No. I just happen to believe that there's still, in the same way that we talked about happiness a couple of weeks ago, right? Is not the other person's sole responsibility to make your spouse happy. But I think that we determined or agreed that there are some things that your spouse do that can contribute to the happiness or the unhappiness.
And I think even more so with trust, because I think happiness is an internal thing. I don't think trust is an internal thing. I think trust is something that is really built from experience.
Right.
And that's an external.
It's still ultimately your decision internally.
I hear that.
To decide if you're going to trust that person. Or not. Right. And that's what I think Thomas is saying, and I'm agreeing with him. Like it is ultimately, but there are some things that the other person can do to help with it or to slow it down or to speed it up. Because if that other person continues to lie, you know what I'm saying? If that other person continues to lie, it doesn't matter I can want to trust you all day long. I can be there, but if you're going to continue to lie, then I can't trust you. I'm just saying there are things
because trust is earned.
I do agree everything with y'all saying that the trust is earned, all that, but I do think I don't believe that knowing like detail. Like I don't want to know what you did, and I think that for some people that need that, or you want details, or you have to have actual facts of dates and times and everything. That shit is crazy to me.
But see, understand it. I think that's individual though, and I don't think the offender gets the right to determine how they pay up.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, if you've offended me, you don't get to tell me like, "Oh, Al, that's too much." Nah, motherfucker, you should know. This is what it's going to take.
Right.
You want to earn your trust back? Here it is. If you don't want to earn it back, then don't do it. But understand this is what is required,
Right.
But
and that's why
I want to make a quick
is
comment. I
Go
want
ahead,
to make a
Peter.
quick comment on Thomas. When he said like no talking, I totally understand what Gina is saying. I mean, that's why we probably here. But I feel like if he don't have any questions to ask me with whatever situation I feel, cause see, I'm a type of person I have to ask questions. It doesn't have to be like why or how you did it and all this stuff, but it's just questions. I feel like if he's not gonna ask me any questions, then he probably don't really care. That's what I'm thinking on the other side. So if he really don't have questions for me and I'm thinking he really don't care, I might end up doing the shit again. I'm sorry.
Keita, I swear to God, I love you. Oh
I mean,
shit.
and that's another issue that Thomas has within himself because he doesn't ask a lot of questions. He just feel like we've this is what happened or whatever, and then that's it. He don't put nothing onto the table. Like you have to put stuff out to the table. You have to kind of agree, disagree, see where we're gonna go next time. Hopefully we don't do that again. You know what I'm saying? It has to be some type of questions asked.
Nah, Keita, though. But if you already know that that's the kind of man that he is, that regardless of the situation, he doesn't ask a lot of questions. That's just who he is. How do we jump to that must mean he don't care?
And I was gonna say that, but you took the words out of my mouth. So
Because the thing is, he knows what I'm looking for.
But
Because
you know who
if
he
you don't
is.
have no questions for me at all, Gina, and
the
I
same
just
way,
did
Keita,
something,
that ain't right. I got the, I'm always gonna be on the side of what's right. That shit ain't right. Now you
I
can't
probably
be
did
like,
it because
no,
he had
you
no damn
can't,
questions.
you can't be like he knows how I am and knows what I want while you ignoring who he is and what he wants.
But I probably
Right.
did it because he never had questions in the beginning. That's
Oh,
probably why.
oh.
it's all your fault. Boo.
Who is
and
your
that,
fault?
You
You
and
fucking
he
and
is
that,
jumping out the window with this.
and that,
well,
and
go
that's
ahead.
fine. And that's fine. Then I'll be done. See,
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
no,
but I will say this.
hey, and I
Like,
have no problem or no reservations being done.
and
And you know what I'm saying? That's fine. But that type of fellow, like,
I do understand what she's saying because I do have some people that have been in those situations and that's how they really felt. Like, well, I mean, if she ain't gonna ask me nothing, it was on the men's side though. And I've had those situations with friends where it was on the women's side too. Well, I mean, if she ain't got nothing to say about it or she ain't gonna ask me about it, then fuck it, I'm gonna do it again.
like,
real
So I
talk,
see what
right?
she's saying.
Yeah, oh, I understand it too. That doesn't make it
right.
logical
I don't
and
think
or
it
right, I
right.
understand it, but
Right. I complete because I tell Al that all the time. Like he does this thing. Like I can be talking, and I think in my mind, we get ready to have a conversation, and I can say a whole bunch of shit, and then he just sits there and says nothing. Right. So I completely understand that idea of, or I can go to the doctor and I come home and he don't ask me about my doctor visit. My first thing is, but you don't care. You know what I'm saying? So I understand, like, 'cause that is how we show concern and care, just on a general basis. We ask questions. We do. Like,
Yeah, I'm sitting
and
here
so I can
pregnant
see
for
how
like
you
6 months,
go there,
and you
but
ain't asked about nothing.
right. So I can see how you may think that. But also, like, you have to take in consideration, like, if you know that that's who he is, like, is
That's
it
what he's
really
married
about him
to.
not caring? Like that, right?
Right.
Tom,
And so
Thomas
and
Thomas ain't give a fuck about you from day one. I'm just saying. How you gonna be like, oh, yeah.
The way my mind set up, that's how I'm thinking most times.
Girl, stop.
Right.
right. Stop it.
hilarious.
This
Stop
just
it.
you just making
Stop
good
it.
radio.
Honestly, though, I think
Hey,
that that's part of another podcast that we need to have when it comes to
Right.
setting
Right.
expectations for your spouse that they absolutely aren't going to meet. So in the end, you disappoint yourself. Okay?
Yes, yes,
Absolutely.
Ladine, you hit it on the nose.
Yes. That's another one.
That's a whole nother topic. But as it relates to this trust thing, y'all, like I think we all agree that it's huge. I think we all agree that it looks different and we go about achieving it in different ways. But at the end of the day, like it's important. And if you don't have it now, then perhaps, you know, you should work on getting it, whatever that looks like for your situation. And as you heard, we have clearly differing opinions, especially with that damn JR about this situation. Uh, but it's all good. Everybody's shit is just as valid as everybody else, and I ain't married to the motherfucker, so it really don't even matter if
I
you
gave
agree
you
or
facts. Yours was an opinion,
Ladine,
sweetie. Sorry.
that's your fucking truth. That don't make it facts. Your truth is
Well,
not
my
equal
facts. Them
to
me and Big
facts.
Ugly Fred facts.
That's right. You and Big Ugly Fred, y'all have look. You Big Ugly Fred and Keita, y'all have a ball.
Well, and you tell Big Booty Tina I said what's up.
Hey, what's up?
Big booty.
But at the end of the day, we all just do the best that we can, what we know how, trying to sustain our marriages and help our spouses to be happy the best that we can. And we offer, hopefully, behaviors that contributes to our spouses trusting us. And that's for everybody. So, what'd you say, Lisa? Lady?
Hopefully, this is what we offer to the people.
Hey, hopefully that's on you. I can listen. Listen. At the end of the day, you do what you do with your marriage. I do what I do with mine, and hopefully we'll all end up on the better side. But anyway, y'all. On that note, we will say good night. We will see you next week, same time, same channel.
No doubt. Prayers up for the family of Breonna Taylor. Some more bullshit we got to deal with.
Yeah, definitely. Good night.
Say her name. Good night.
Good night.
Peace.
Night.
And soul.
Playing a commercial.
We're told that greatness is exceptional when it should be expected. You choose every day to live your life intentionally, without apology for how bright your light may shine. So go be great. Go be brilliant. Go be you. Go defy life. The Defy Life movement is one that speaks to each of us in its own way. Defy Life gear speaks to us all by reminding us that one size does not fit all. Visit defylifegear.com to get fitted for greatness.